Forget to try out the free scan and find out what these online data brokers have on you.
If you don't think the Idaho murders are a big deal online, consider on TikTok alone that videos with Idaho murders hashtag have more than 460 million views, and that is more than there are people in the United States. We have reported at length about the cyber detectives and the true crime buffs who pore over every detail and photo looking for clues that the real investigators might miss. But the internet is a big, scary place, and there are bad actors out there too. Case in point, a YouTuber named Joseph Morris may be one of them. This week, Morris is being accused of posting a fake video. In it, a neighbor of the murdered students is said to have made an audio recording of the murders as they were happening. Take a listen. That is really alarming stuff, if it's real. But something is fishy, and the cyber sleuth community thought so too. And as soon as they started asking questions about that video, poof, Joseph Morris deleted the video. But not before more than 270,000 of his YouTube subscribers had seen it. One man decided to call Morris out. He is a fellow YouTuber named Melvin Cedeno. He's known online as Iked Mel. And have a look at how he says he debunked the screen video.
I have multiple things to show you why this was fabricated. Like we have the original source of the audio, and I don't know what kind of audio, like what modification he made to the audio. There's multiple things you could have done. You can add reverb. You can do all kinds of things to make audio sound like it's outside, though I think maybe he just held the audio at a distance and made it sound like it was outside and he just breathed over it.
Cedeno says that Morris took the audio from another YouTuber, added the breathing sounds, and then manipulated the result to make it seem like it came from a distance. Cedeno also accuses Joseph Morris of fabricating the online news story that accompanied the screen video to make the narrative that much more believable. And this isn't the first time that Joseph Morris has been accused of meddling in a high-profile murder case. Back in September of last year, at the height of the Gabby Petito mystery, Joseph Morris claimed that Brian Laundrie was seen accidentally going live on an Instagram while out on a boat somewhere.
There are allegations that Brian appeared on Instagram Live accidentally for 2 to 3 seconds, and viewers saw water as if he were on a boat.
Were there really allegations, Joseph? Because we all know that Brian Laundrie was nowhere near a boat. He was rotting, dead in the Florida swamp, right next to his home. And now Joseph Morris's critics are claiming that Morris was called out on a Zoom meeting for posting such damaging and false reports.
I love that. I love that. Well, of course you love it, but I'm just saying it's like, even though you know it's fake, it's like you still watch it. You're like, this is so wrong. Like,
really funny, hilarious. So if Joseph Morris lied and faked that Idaho post, should he and anyone else who does that kind of crap face consequences? Or is it free speech? Or is it interfering in a police investigation? Coming up, the man who debunked Joseph Morris's screen video, Melvin Cedeno, next. I am joined now by Melvin Cedeno. He called out a YouTuber for what he says was garbage, lies, fake videos about this tragedy in Idaho. So, Melvin, what tipped you off that, Joseph Morris's video might be a fake?
Quite a few things, and thank you for having me on, Ashley. The internet, people got kind of suspicious. They were suspicious about what they saw because there was a previous incident or multiple incidences, like with the Brian Laundrie boat incident, where he took a video from a larger, older video, snipped it down, and then put it out as if Brian Laundrie had just turned on his Instagram Live by accident. And so I think even on that TikTok video that he did of the boat incident, it got like 11 million views. It's still up on his TikTok. And so that kind of made me want to pay attention to it because people were emailing me, DMing me. I literally woke up, I think it was Saturday morning, and everybody on Discord was telling me, like, we need to look into this because the audio, somebody found the audio, the original author from where that came from. And it's weird because the original audio comes from, it looks like a domestic violence situation. And so 2 small parts of that video with the woman screaming, leave me alone and stop it, were taken. It seems like it was modified and it was added to his video. Also, in looking into that, I was trying to find that article, the Daily Mail article, and I found the original article, and it doesn't have the verbiage that he was reading where it says, but blood-curdling scream they heard that night, which is pretty disgusting for him to even use that verbiage when describing.
So what you're saying, Melvin, is he overlaid a legitimate news source like the Daily Mail and made it and legitimized the audio clip that he had put together from different sources, from a domestic violence incident, and then that's pretty crafty stuff. So my question for you is, because you do a lot of, I got about 10 seconds left, but this gives you guys a bad name. The community must have been really angry about this.
Oh yeah, a lot of people upset. Even I mean, I've reached out to the neighbor. He said it was fake. I reached out to the author of the Daily Mail. It was fake. And the true crime community already has sometimes a bad rap for doxing, harassing, you know, going down the crazy conspiracy train. And so this is bad. And there's audio of him laughing about it with the Brian Laundrie incident. Yeah, it's horrible.
Melvin said, I'm very appreciative that you joined us tonight and that you did the work to call this out. Thank you for that. Really appreciate it. We'll have you on again.
Thanks. So that was that last night. Again, I'm super appreciative for being on there, and people for coming through and supporting me. I'm not wishing for like a witch hunt on this guy or anything like that. I just think that what is happening with that situation is horrible. Like, it's bad. And so I feel like it needed to be called out. And I don't feel like it was a mistake. I think I showed more than enough corroborative things that indicate that this was intentional, you know? So the other just quick thing, I didn't even realize this until last night. There was a Newsweek article about the whole situation. I'll put the links for this down below, but it says prominent YouTuber accused of faking evidence in Idaho murder case. And so it talks about the whole situation here. I'm not going to get into it all, but because we already kind of covered it all. But, and if you haven't seen the original video I did on this whole situation, I'll put the link down below as well. You should check it out. And I think this just should be cautionary for all of us to be careful where we get our information from and maybe try to double check if we're going to state it as a fact. But this was the article, which I thought was pretty cool. And then there was another, and they even cited this whole laughing situation, which you just saw in this video, which I've heard about many times as well, where this guy's like confronted. The other thing which surprised me, I was looking today, and apparently this article talked about the Idaho ladder incident. Well, that call that we had it's on my Twitter, the call that we had that said she called FBI to report the ladder outside of the home. Now, this article, it wasn't solely just about that, but the whole conversation about this was that a lot of people have been calling in all kinds of tips like this, you know, and people are wondering, and police are calling for tips, but like, are things like this helpful or are they not helpful? Even though they say any small thing, if you think is significant, go ahead and report it. And it had stated here at one point, because police have begged, it says here, police have begged armchair detectives and internet sleuths not to meddle in the investigation or share unfounded claims online. However, the case sparked huge international or national interest. And it even says here, reporter Brian Enton, who works for News Nation, did a 15-minute live outside of that crime scene, which remains sealed off with police tape around the perimeter. Enton answered questions messaged to him by the viewers and confirmed the presence of a ladder. So like, a lot of people were talking about this ladder. Some of you have asked me about the ladder. Yeah, there is a ladder there is a ladder on the other side of the house that has been there since the beginning, which is kind of interesting. So this ladder thing, it didn't just start with this lady that called in. I don't think it's related, but, you know, she pointed it out. So it was kind of an interesting article that goes in depth with the whole ladder gate, you know. There was this other thing too, and I don't know. I don't have anything to indicate. I don't know if this guy did this, but people were wondering, did he make this up as well? You know, I have no idea.
It looks like a 3-story house. So one of the roommates wrote,
and so somebody had sent me this screenshot of the roommate, but when I got this, we were talking about this on live. I had read it and I had specifically stated, I would like to actually see the person's account because anybody can type a name and use the same avatar and pretend to be the same account. So, you know, I don't know. This thing seems to have been fake. This post right here, it was circulating around on YouTube, and police have confirmed that this whole body's bound and gagged is not true. And so somebody was asking me, do you think this was him? I honestly don't know, but if it was, I wouldn't be surprised. I love you guys. Thank you for coming through. The whole support last night, again, it felt amazing. It helped me. Like, I was a little nervous at first, and I really didn't get to say everything that I wanted to say, and it's really hard to squeeze everything into that small time frame. And they have such a, like, the production is crazy. Like, if you ever have to like do an interview with any of these networks, 'cause I did Court